So Janelle is up next, and Janelle's an author, poet, and memoirist whose works have appeared in A Year in Ink, the San Diego Poetry Annual, UC Riverside's Mosaic Literary Magazine, Riverside's L'Alliance Française, News, and Shaking the Tree, Brazen Short Memoir. As an adoptee, she often writes on the subjects of alienation, erased history, wandering stars, trees cut from their roots. She is also a world traveler, lover of hospitality, a baker, a bicyclist, and a mean barbecue sauce maker. Janelle.
Thank you so much, Tanya. And thank you for this class and giving us this opportunity to read our work. So my relationship with tarot is really very slim. But last year I went on a journey to New Orleans to learn more about myself and my roots. And I wrote a poem about a wanderer who was afraid to consult the tarot reader in Jackson Square because she was afraid of the answer she might get. And in the poem, the wanderer must discover the questions whose answers she fears. So that experience kind of brought me to this class and these 30 days of writing prompts. But on the first day, I was brought up short by how women were depicted in the cards in the conversation, which said that women were often portrayed as a maiden or a mother or a crone. And so as though we were only what we were before and during and after raising children. So that kind of brought me up short, but in the end, I persevered and it began to make me think more about the timelessness and our place in the universe and the journey that we have through all the stages of our life. And so that was kind of fun, but it also brought out a different voice in me because these cards that I had from this deck were very old and very medieval. And it brought out the voice I was very used to growing up reading the King James Version of the Bible. So it brought out this other voice in me that I don't often use in my poetry. And that was fun. And so one of the characters in the tarot deck, and it's what we started the first day, is the Fool. And the Fool is the innocent, the one that goes off on adventures, the one who starts something new. And no matter our age, we all have the Fool in us every day, ready to step out with hope, with belief that the day can bring us joy and happiness and something new to delight in. And so I'm going to start my reading of The Fool in the Crone, because of course, right now I'm a crone. So The Fool in the Crone. This fool has not looked in the mirror lately, has not seen how maiden and mother have come and gone, the turning of days as she waits for the children to leave. This fool has not looked in the mirror lately, has not seen time, a yipping hound shepherding impatient at her heel, because the dark sun shines upon her back and life still feels a gay lark. Today, her burden is light. She trips forth into the night, beside tumbling waters, heading downhill, chin up, a ship's prow cresting the wind. She balances an orange rose, a tiny flame, as though she has just come from plucking joy in the woods, as though sorrow does not weigh her lithe figure down, and all that has come before is forgot. So my next poem is Dawn and the Ace of Cups. And I don't know if you've got that picture up, but in this poem, dawn slips into the room, sends its tentative strips through the slats at the window, unwelcome visitor chasing night dreams away, invading swirl of covers, pillows, warmth that nestles me in sleep. In the mist of love's reverie, the memory of you, our nights shared in this bed, this heat of mattress, coverlet wrapped around me like your embrace. Dawn takes hold, lightens the room. I roll over, open heavy eyes. The dark has fled, the dream, the memory of you dispersed. Day calls, yet my heart lingers, overflowing with the vision of you in the twist of sheets, the light press of dog at my back. Here, in this moment of grace, I long to speak to you, recall your voice, but sunlight has driven trembling shade from the deepest corners. Thanks. The next poem, I'm going to just change my view if I can. Maybe I can't. The next poem that I wrote was about the Empress. And I don't know if I can see that the Empress, she's sitting on a throne in a field. And so the Empress, I am the Empress of my hill, brandishing orb, ownership deed, surveyor of empire, bearing a crown of stars, the cedars, knights errant, upright soldiers from whence footmen, hidden sparrows ply their work without distress. I am Empress of my hill, where even the trill of greeting from honeybees buried in plum blossoms says, all is right today, tonight, and we will have fruit in due time. Coddle this hill, bring beauty, delight, O Empress, for soon you will rest in the night with those who walked this forest path, observed Earth's visage beneath starry skies from this throned ledge before. But no one will pause to think, who planted this peach whose fruit entices, or why lavender bumbles with flashes now yellow, now black, or why the finches splash, then warble at the water's edge. Oh, good. I'm glad we have this picture here. So this one is the Emperor, and it's tweaked a little bit in honor of Coronation Day today. The Emperor, he grew up in the 60s. He took LSD, of course. Mind-altering, saw the bright yellow, orange, raspberry, lapis lazuli. All was beautiful, a delight. He did not see that he was unclothed. Or perhaps he did, wearing a barrel of oak. Perhaps he wanted to live forever and thought he would pickle himself, but his subjects jeered and laughed to see him dance about. Maybe he just wanted to be a nudist, tired of all the wearing of robes, dispensing of justice, standing around with smiles when he wanted to frown. He thought he'd toss it all, but didn't want anyone to see that bright strawberry birthmark on his tushy, so donned a barrel, but still he could not forsake his crown. And I wrote a poem on temperance. Temperance pours the wine between two chalices, equal portions for all. She stands with one foot in the water, one on land, her headband a miner's headlamp, a triangle, the strongest building form to withstand an earthquake, covering her heart. She is quiet, calm, meting out what's fair, no worry of time or place in her thoughts. She is an angel, a messenger, wings spread, looking not to the right or left, focused on her task of division, not afraid of the coming night. But one cup is higher, one lower. Temperance cannot accomplish her task without exalting the one who loses its essence to the one who was brought low. The high cup shall fall in the balance, the low shall rise. Is this reparation, the restoring of balance, the keeping of peace? And last, I have meditations on judgment. So this is the Mother Peace card. I am Mother World, Mother God, in unhurried rays of light, at dawn, at dusk, spread I my skirts wide to cover earth in rainbow tones beneath a raspberry sky, a swan in the shallows sheltering her young. The bell of truth rings crystal sharp, a sounding wave that echoes over spinning sphere, wavers in the still of time, tolls between water, veld, desert, alpine top, and Valley Hollow. My children, what have you done today? What have you done for me? For your brothers, your sisters, for the starving child in the lonely hut, the beggar lying senseless in the street. What, my children, have you done in the cry of the night? What have you done for me? Where is comfort? Where grace? Where solace in the purple shadows? Where embrace of those brought low? What cup of water pressed you between burning lips? What grave washed in sorrow? What nakedness veiled in love? What ugliness cowed down with kindness? What wound bound with tender hand? My children who crawl upon the land, crest the wild and stormy seas, fling yourself amongst the rocks, dash the frail to stone. Unfurl your joy before the rising sun, before the wilt that comes with longitude of night, and consider what you have done for me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Janelle, I got on a roll with the mother. This was the Empress you wrote to, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It is.
so
Yeah.
Janelle's poem was actually based on the Rider Waite Smith Empress sitting on
Yeah.
the. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Janelle.
Thank you.
So next is Rebecca Jane, and this is Rebecca Jane is the author of a upcoming book of poems called She Bleeds Sestinas. Rebecca is a seeker of wisdom from the world's various traditions and is currently steeped in depth study of both Vedic philosophy and the Celtic magical tradition. She likes to discover ways these various traditions speak to one another. And her book is forthcoming from Atmosphere Press. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you, Tanya, and thank you, everyone. So I want to explain the spread here in the image. I am writing to the card Oshumare, and Oshumare is a major in the tarot of the Orishas. So the Orishas are from a Yoruba and Brazilian, African and Brazilian tradition. And up on the left-hand right side of this image is an image of like the iconography of Oshumare. And then below that, you see my kitchen altar. So this is a kitchen altar that I have in the kitchen, and my poem is called On My Kitchen Altar. Do you like to build altars? I do. Lately, I've been hosting a guest from the Orisha Tarot to sit on what I regard as the lotus seat on my kitchen altar. I invite Orisha energy and wisdom to play in my kitchen. Invite Orisha energy to inspire prayer and contemplation for this day. Today, my guest is Oshumare. And today I think of my friend and teacher, Priestess Marie. May Marie be protected. May Marie always be successful. As I am enjoying my contemplation and prayer for Marie, the stones on the altar tremble. A thunderbolt slices open the coconut. The kitchen screen door slides open by an invisible hand. A snake enters, glides in, drags silence over the tiled floor. His skin reflects sunlight, an effervescent rainbow. The snake proceeds to climb the cupboards and onto the counter, onto my humble altar. He circles the mini cauldron, proceeds to give his tail chase. I should probably be amazed or astonished. This is some kind of supernatural event, but for some reason inside myself, I do not sense amazement. It feels like there is nothing out of the ordinary here. Inside myself, I feel right at home. Oshumare is here in my kitchen. I feel her, his presence as I have been practicing owning up to this. Spirit realm is more real to me than the material realm. I am over it, privileging the material over the spiritual. Why not turn the visible world on its head? Oshumare flicks her, his tongue as if to say, yes. Oshumare, mother of water, teach me, guide me. When rain starts to fall in my kitchen, I am glad. I realize, hey, this rain, weird as it may be, is helping me get the dishes done. Wait, what? I am receiving help with cleaning the dirty dishes? Well, now I am amazed. No one helps with dishes here. I live with 2 teen daughters. If I say, hey, let's do dishes, they say, do dishes? That's for millennials. And they turn to the screen. So I raise up my arms and sing, let the millennial rains do the dishes. I'll splash. I'm grateful. Everything is wet. The loaf of bread, the farm box, the lemons gifted to us by a neighbor, the onions, the knives, the stove, the tea towels, the cutting board, all wet. The floor is flooded. I chuckle as I splash over the floor in my once fluffy, now soggy house slippers. Should I be worried? Do I need to call the landlord, the handyman, the plumber? Probably. And while I'm at it, I need to renew the family's passports, fold the laundry, replace the water filter, rotate the tires, and walk the dogs. Really, are house chores any less real now while I am praising Oshumare? I don't know, but I am not just imagining. Her, his magical presence is jazzing up my altar. Really, he catches her, his tail, and I see what is happening, and I splash about some more. There is hope. The rainbow will appear. I press my palms together. I bow. I repeat the Durga Dwatrin Shan Mala for the 125,000th time. Being introduced to Oshumare inspires a profound revelation for me. Oshumare in Yoruba means rainbow. Oshumare is both a serpent and a rainbow. Aha, life lessons repeat, and I find myself encountering the mysteries of snakes and rainbows again. Over and over, I've been told of ways Tibetan Buddhist monks high in the Himalayas meditate with fervor, and at the end of life might achieve the dissolution of the physical body. It's a spiritual attainment called the rainbow body. The body does not decay. Instead, it dissolves. With years of esoteric practice vibrating every cell in the body with activated mantras, chanting, yogis who remain conscious during the process of physical death with intention and mudras send energy up the spine through the Brahmarandra and out the crown of the head. Whoa, just look at the iconography of Oshumare. The rainbow bursting from the crown. Isn't that what the Himalayan yogis are doing? Let Oshumare dance in my spine, spiral, gyrate, vibrate with my prayer. May Marie attain all the spiritual wisdom she desires. And when the rain stops falling in my kitchen, may I be the rainbow. Eureka! Driving to school today, my daughters spotted a rainbow in the sky, not on the screen. We were coasting downhill on Nautilus Street, 50 miles per hour, speeding under the rainbow. I heard a voice say, "Forgive." Now I am in awe. Shri Durgaye Namaha. The dishes are done. Let us sit and chat and chant and forgive all afternoon. Tell me, friend, what do you place on your altar? What spirit beings dance inside your spine? Whom do we need to forgive? What does it mean to acknowledge the spiritual realm as more real than the material realm? What does it mean to really honor and contemplate the mystery of the mother of water, the mystery of Oshumare? Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Next, we have Marjorie. Marjorie Pezzoli is a silk painter for 25 plus years, page poet who likes to speak, and a writer. Basically, she's a shy ham who will pick up a microphone at various San Diego open mic venues, and a stage vamp storyteller. Can you stay 10 minutes longer? Her poetry has been included in numerous anthologies. Her writings deal with grief, hope, and the wonders of the universe. Marjorie's current passion project is theelectricwomb.com. She and Deborah Ramos are curating this sacred space. Marjorie.
This has been such an incredible month, and Rebecca, what you read was it just totally touched me. It just, rainbows are a very important sign that I get many times for different reasons. Some good, not so good, but we go on. And the inner child deck is the one that time and time again would jump out to me. And I was thinking, it'd be fun just to design one myself, because it's kind of been on my mind. And the prompt that inspired this image and my poem was your first recollection of the sun. And that just brought me right back to the beginning in my mother's womb. So that's this poem right here. Inner child, sun child, within my mother's womb, I felt your power, blood cells glowed. Your rays warmed her in order to warm me. When I close my eyes, it brings me back to the first encounter, cells dividing and knitting, the beginning of me. Life-giving golden beam scented with tangerine filled my mother's soul. Your wisdom inhaled, pressed to her inner wrists. The day of my birth, eyes open to air, your brilliance was felt. Gifted light rays warmed my skin. Bundled up in maternal grace, hope, and love. Endless possibilities, one journey chosen, life begins over and over. And I just had real fun writing that one, and just, I could feel myself in the warm water. And even like when you close your eyes and you look at the sun, that red glow, it just brought me all back to that. And the next one, this card, Ace of Wands, my friend actually made that wand and I incorporated it into one of my silk paintings. And I just have to, it's just fun to have stuff that you can actually hold and feel. And it's like, I don't know, not quite a portable altar, but it's nice to have stuff in your hands. And I started writing haiku maybe about a year ago. And part of why I'm really drawn to it is, it reminds me of my daughter. Short, sweet, and to the point. And 10 years ago, she sent a rainbow, a big, huge rainbow symbol as it was her goodbye and letting us know that she was safe and sound and she had crossed over. And she still sends me signs. And when I write, I almost feel like we're collaborating together, is the best way to put it. So this is the haiku for Ace of Wands. Intuitive gifts, elemental knowledge, fire, wind, spread seeds. And so it's a continuation in seeds. And I mean, so, you know, the big cedars, they need to burn in order for their seeds to nourish and start the whole process over again. And that's kind of a drastic way for life to begin again, but that happens in a lot of ways for many of us. So that's kind of why this was important to me to write.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marjorie. Those silk paintings, and then you were able to incorporate that image in the card.
You know, and then I digitally, you know, added some of the other little components, and it was the creative process is what keeps me moving along. And the tarot, it's new, but it's not at the same time. I think like there's something in our DNA that feels it and knows it, and it's just another expression of knowledge that not everybody taps into. And I was just very grateful to, when I first met Tania via Zoom, and I've been following her ever since.
Thank you so much, Marjorie. Really beautiful to see the art and have you here with us.
Thank you.
Penina was in our class this month and wasn't able to make our call today, but I just wanted to share about her a little bit, her bio. She's a Samoan writer, poet, educator, and cultural arts activist. She's the author of Sourcing Siapo, which came out in 2016. For 9 years, she worked as an artistic director for the Oakland Asian Cultural Center, where she founded the Asian Pacific Islander Youth Advocacy and Leadership Talking Art Collective, a youth arts education organization. And during her time at OACC, Penina also co-founded the Pacific Islander Kie Association, an only Pacific Island nonprofit in Oakland, which serves 70 families a year. She was the co-host for Ohana Open Mic at Pro Arts Gallery in Oakland in the mid to late 90s, and has been a featured poet for the KPFA FM Best Spoken Word Millennium Series. She earned her MFA in writing from Mills College and currently lives in Salem, Oregon. And Penina wrote with us this month, but we also got to see one of her poems in the prompt for the Phoenix card. So I wanted to read the bio for all of us, but especially for the classmates who had the chance of working with her this round, just to see a little bit more about her. So let's see. And then we have Ruth Thompson. Ruth Thompson is in channel. Her most recent books are Whale Fall and Black Sage, poetry, and Quickwater Oracles, channeling, which was shortlisted for a Montaigne Medal and first runner-up for the Eric Hoffer Prize. Her poem published in Cranach, Bose, Gay, American Poetry Journal, Poetry Island Review, and Sheila Nagig. They've won many awards and pushcart nominations in the US and Ireland, and have been choreographed by dancers, including Shizune Nasu of Japan. Ruth lives in Ithaca, New York. She's the chief editor for Saddle Road Press, a freelance editor, and a teacher of writing and meditation. You can find her online at ruththompson.net. Welcome, Ruth.
Thank you. Thank you. So the first poem I wanted to read. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say how much fun this was. Tania, thanks so much for this whole month of writing with the tarot. I always enjoy it, and this was particularly useful and rich. So thank you. Okay, so the first one I wanted to read was The Fool. I've written many fool poems over the years. It seems to be a perpetual motif for me. And this was the one I wrote this month. Considering the stunts you've pulled, not nimbly or gracefully, but coming out alive, which is all you can ask for, I guess, coming out alive and in time for the next stunt, which will require entirely different toe bells and birds and somersaults, and trusting, as always, to the empty air or a just-in-time sunbeam to let you down easy. Well, mostly it wasn't easy, but anyway, here you are again. You must have a star on a sidewalk somewhere, considering how over and over you dance off another cliff, nothing in your silly head but, oh, what a beautiful day. And the next one I wanted to read was for the magician card. It's kind of a weird take on the magician. I think I'm calling the poem Receiving Magic. When you need something from the story, it comes walking towards you on a dark road, or painted in hieroglyphs on the walls of a dream, or born in blood from between your own legs. It comes, that thing you needed, like the smell of a place you had forgotten, salt and eucalyptus and dirt. And this one is for the Empress. And this is the Empress manifests honey at the grocery store. This actually came to me when I was looking for honey at the grocery store as the different bottles of honey. Anyway, the Empress manifests honey at the grocery store. There's smirk honey and simper honey. They're the ones with the pictures of bees shaking their booties and winking Bambi lashes. But down there on the bottom shelf, there's one jar left of the real thing. You can almost smell the wildflowers. The black-eyed peas just rolled in from the sacred halls of Congress, where you should see the other eye. It was a honey. And inside that vast glass casket lies Sleeping Beauty ice cream cake, wrapped in a ball gown of vanilla mascara swirl and smirk pink. Oh, but if I were Empress, I would be manifesting something sweet in the cinnamon kitchen of some big old house where the line breaks are easy, worn in like foot dents on the stairs, and answers to all my questions would whisper in the attic like murmurations of bees inventing honey. I only sent you those three. Should I have one more. Should I read one more, Tanya? Do we have time?
Yeah, we have
Okay.
time. Read one more.
This was for the High Priestess, and I'm calling it What the Cauldron Shows. And this is for Frank X. Gaspar, who is a wonderful poet whom I love. Now all the requiems come forth, as the poet says. And I know he does not mean the death songs the whales are singing, nor the keening of wolves for their children, nor the last smile of the red fox over his shoulder as he trots on small feet across the last meadow. The requiems come forth like curtains of light across the sky, filling the empty field with wolves, with dolphins dancing on their tails, with shining murmurations of particles from all the immeasurable dimensions. They swoop and cohere and empty again and again. So thank you.
Yeah. Was that based on the Mother Peace High Priestess as well?
It was, yes, that High Priestess, and also there's a High Priestess in the Greenwood, the Wildwood.
Wildwood, yeah.
That I use so much, where she's looking in a cauldron. And so that's why I called it, that's what the cauldron says.
Well, thank you, Ruth. I'm
Thank you.
yeah. Let's see. I am gonna just read one poem, and this is from The Fool in the Corn, and this is really the first time the tarot talked to me. This is the first time I met the deck, and it had something to say to me. So here it is. The Page of Wands at the Wellness Fair. First tarot reading, UC Davis, California. Under fluorescent glow, between the blender display and the seed cakes, a woman shuffles a deck of cards. My friends pass her by, but I stop, pay, sit on the cold metal folding chair. Each card back bears the same pattern: blue mountaintops, tree tips, drowned steeples, scales of a leviathan fish, a Pied Piper's hidden door. This is you, she says, after laying out the deck, face up, our querent of now. And it begins, the descent into the Page of Wands in her land, which I can occupy at will. Snug hat, scarf at neck, vest threaded shut with a leather cord, cattails behind left shoulder, and a blossoming walking staff inscribed with rowan berries. You must bring back without apology all that you dare. So I'm so delighted that you all wrote with me this month and brought back without apology all that you dared, and I hope you continue to do that with the tarot. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and if anybody has questions or any other comments that you want to make before we... A really beautiful
Yes.
journey with all
Yeah.
of you all.
It's really lovely to hear all of you and what you worked on this month. It's amazing.
Thank you, Janelle. Wow.
Yeah, I was so used to writing with all of you, so I was getting ready to write next.
Well, thank you so much for coming out for love of tarot and curiosity and poetry, and tarot blessings on the rest of your journey. And thank you so much.
Right. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Marjorie. Thank you so much. Bye, Ruth.
Okay.
Bye.